In the night between 7th and 8th April 2026, against all odds, the USA agreed to the Pakistani-mediated 2-week ceasefire plan, using Iran's proposal as a model, 90 minutes before the deadline of reaching an agreement. Iran's ceasefire plan articulates in 10 points as it is presented by Al Mayadeen News Channel. Commitment to non-aggression. Continuation of Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz. Recognition of Iran's right to uranium enrichment, lifting all primary sanctions, lifting all secondary sanctions, termination of all United Nations, Security Council resolutions, termination of all Board of Governors resolutions, paid compensation for Iran. Withdrawal of U.S. forces from the region, ending the war on all fronts, including Lebanon. The first point is about signing a non-aggression pact so that neither side can attack the other. The second point is about the continuation of Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz, and it may also include a joint cooperation with Oman. It means that every ship must have Iran's permission to pass through. Therefore, Israeli ships, and maybe United States' ships, are forbidden to pass. The ceasefire includes paying fees to Iran. In fact, the Iranian parliament proposed taking $1 in cryptocurrency for every oil barrel passing through, which according to J.P. Morgan, it may generate a revenue of at least $70 billion every year for the country. The third point is about global recognition of Iran's right to uranium enrichment, something which Iran has sought for decades. The fourth and the fifth points are about lifting all sanctions towards Iran since the Bush administration. It means lifting both primary and secondary sanctions, the first being all of the sanctions issued by the USA, and the second being all of the sanctions preventing third parties, for example EU countries, from trading with Iran. The sixth point is about the termination of all UNSC resolutions against Iran, such as the ones regarding Iran's ballistic missile program or its nuclear program. The seventh point is about the termination of all IAEA Board of Governors resolutions against Iran regarding its nuclear program, and it is complementary with the recognition of Iran's right to enrichment. The eighth point is a paid compensation to Iran, including the unfreezing of all Iran's foreign assets, and includes those frozen after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, for a total of $101.6 billion, according to an article published by Nader Habibi, professor of the economics of the Middle East, at the Crown Center for Middle East Studies, Brandeis University, on August 11, 2015. But it is more than that because of inflation. Also, Iran is asking for a paid compensation for the damage caused in the 2025 and 2026 Iran wars, which is in the order of billions of dollars. The ninth point is about the retreat of all the U.S. forces from West Asia, except for Turkey, marking an end of more than 68 years of presence in the region. The 10th point is about the cessation of hostilities on all sides, including Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen, and going back to pre-war territories, making Israel withdraw from South Lebanon. Now, on April 8th, Iran agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and to allow the passage of 15 ships per day. On the same day, Israel launched airstrikes against most of the Lebanese regions, including the capital Beirut, killing around 300 people. While Israel claimed the attack was aimed at destroying Hezbollah's sites, analysts hint that the operation was aimed at nullifying ceasefire talks between the USA and Iran by causing a huge damage that would prompt Iran to answer. Iran's answer was immediate. It closed the strait, saying it would remain like this until the cessation of aggression on Lebanon, and promised a response to Israel. On the other side, Vice President J.D. Vance said the ceasefire is only applied to Iran, and Lebanon wasn't part of it from the beginning. Also, in the same morning, UAE attacked the Iranian islands of Syri and Lavon and Iran answered by hitting Kuwait, UAE, and Saudi Arabia with drones. On Saturday 11th, the Iranian delegation and the United States' delegation met together in Islamabad for direct talks with Pakistani presence in the room, and the negotiations continued for 21 hours until 3 a.m. of April 12th. But the result was negative because the differences were too large, particularly on Iran's right to enrichment, the management of the Strait of Hormuz, and the ceasefire on all fronts. Now that the negotiations failed without setting a second round of talks, with a ceasefire ending on April 21st, is the continuation of war imminent? Or will both parties manage to find an agreement?